So, the new Rian Johnson movie, Knives Out, just came out on Wednesday, I think? Suspiciously. Usually it's a Friday. But we watched it, didn't we?
We did indeed.
Massive cast in this film. It's got Chris Evans, Toni Collette. Who else is in this?
Daniel Craig,
obviously. Michael Shannon. Yeah, it's a wacky cast. It's a kind of old school whodunnit Agatha Christie style with a bit of dark comedy and elements of thriller. What can we say that isn't spoilers?
Yeah, I was going to say a whodunit movie, kind of from the beginning. I would say that I tried to predict the ending and I got it wrong.
Yes, me too.
So I'll be interested to hear what you thought the ending was going to be. I'll say that it's very good. It's very well shot. Rian Johnson, as we've seen, is very good at getting good shots, and he's quite good at writing good dialogue. I think the pacing's very good. I think it takes some interesting twists and turns throughout. And it almost, it establishes very well, and obviously it's mostly based around the house where the murder took place. It has obviously a lot of nods to the works that inspired it, but there definitely was like some modern themes throughout it as well.
Yes.
Like it definitely felt like a whodunit for 2019.
That's it, and I think you could go in expecting a bit of that because he's quite political usually in his writing style. I thought it was excellent. Talking about how it was shot, some of it's quite sharp, which is very interesting. Bear in mind the setting of the film. It's very in focus the whole time, but there's some sort of weird, sort of nostalgic shots. They use like this sort of pulling focus at the same time as zooming in. And some of the slow motion and stuff. It's very interestingly shot film.
And like some bits where either, like you said, the out of focus or the lighting obscures characters and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's you get the feeling this is a film that Rian Johnson wrote and directed with almost no studio interference at all. Yes,
and the script's very tight. There's a lot of stuff that will be mentioned offhand that then plays roles later. So it really is a film where if you're paying attention, you'll be like, oh yeah, because he said that. Oh yeah, because she did that, yeah.
As we're the Cynical Optimists, I think we have to briefly mention the elephant in the room, in that this was directed by Rian Johnson, who did The Last Jedi. Do you think this was a better movie
than The Last Jedi?
Yes.
Yes.
Me too, funnily enough.
The thing is, I do like The Last Jedi, and I think it's a good movie. But this is, still avoiding spoilers, is up there for one of my favourite films of the year.
Yes, I would say the same, actually. I think sometimes you get directors who have like a very unique style, and maybe it's best to sort of let them do their own thing. Because I found the same. I mean, I enjoyed Looper as well, which I think was his original story. I'm yet to see Brick. I really want to see Brick because apparently
I haven't seen Brick.
Apparently, it's very similar sort of writing to this. It's quite fun and twisty and funny and character driven. But yeah, I think there is something to say about maybe some writer directors are better suited to their own material than to someone else's. Yeah. But anyway, I did enjoy The Last Jedi, and I think it's due a rewatch just before Rise of Skywalker. But anyway, let's stop talking about it. We just had to get that out there, I think.
So we're going to go into kind of the plot, the spoilers, what we thought was going to happen from now?
Yeah, just briefly. Who was your standout in the cast?
It was quite good seeing Chris Evans playing a bastard again.
Yes. I mean, if you've seen the trailer, you know the scene where he's... Eat shit. Eat shit.
Like, you can tell he was enjoying it as well. Like, he was having fun with the role.
I think everyone had a lot of fun in this. Jamie Lee Curtis was really good as the kind of sassy bitch mother, like, always smoking a cigar. Yeah. Who else was in this? Yeah, Daniel Craig has got to get a mention because I mean, the accent isn't perfect, but again, he looks like he's having way more fun in this film than he did in the last Bond, for instance. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it an awful lot. Don Johnson, who plays the sort of the husband of Jamie Lee Curtis, he's just been in Watchmen as well, and he's very good at playing very interesting sort of slightly scumbaggy roles. So, but I won't say much more than that. Before we go on to spoilers, what's your thumbs up out of 100?
What, is out of 100 this time?
Yeah.
Out of 100. Just gonna do out of 10. Honestly, I'd say this was like a 8.5 or a 9 out of 10 for me.
I'd put somewhere in the same ballpark. Actually, I had a blast watching it, and not least because I went to a different cinema to watch this, because cinema I work in hasn't got it until Friday, the day we're recording this. So I had to go to a different cinema, and I think sometimes when you're not watching a film outside of your workplace, it can probably make it a bit more sort of stress-free and entertaining. So, but yeah, I had a very good time watching this. I think it's been a very good last third of the year actually for movies so far.
Yeah, no, there's been some good films. We haven't had quite any Crimes of Grindelwald this season.
No, well, I just think I think specifically this time of year as well, we've had a lot more originality, because the first sort of couple of thirds of the year, there's so many like remakes and sequels and stuff, and then this bottom third of the year has kind of been a bit more original stuff. I watched Frozen 2 out of interest as well, and like even that's I think a step up above the remakes of The Lion King and Aladdin, etc., because it's a lot more of an original story and it's got some good stuff in there. But anyway, let's move on to spoilers for Knives Out. I'd recommend, stop listening, because I think you will want to go and experience each twist and turn in this film.
Yes, you don't want it spoiled for you.
No. So what do you think it was heading towards the end?
So about halfway through, I thought it was going to turn out that he faked his death.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
I thought he wanted who he considers to be the best living detective to go up against his greatest mystery.
Yes, I genuinely thought it was heading that way as well.
Yeah.
Because he was when you see brief glimpses of him, played by Christopher Plummer, you see sort of he's got a slightly wacky personality that you kind of, he's in it for the game. And yeah, I could have thought, I was really interested to see whether it would go that way. I'm really glad it didn't.
Yeah, well, the fact that both me and you said that means that clearly that must be what the prevailing theory would have been.
Where it wanted you to go. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And it leads you down that path quite well. But also when you do get the solve at the end, it does all follow kind of what had been established up to that point, and it did answer all the questions. And what I find quite interesting is because obviously he did Lovers Games, Harland, who was the character's name, he almost was playing again. It was almost like he played them back, because obviously the big thing is that it's set up to make you think that his nurse has accidentally killed him, and then he gives her a list of instructions in order to help her to get away with it, which would only it'd cross her out as a suspect, and it'd have to be blamed on one of the family members or pegged up to suicide. And then actually the steps that he gets her to take, he unconsciously undoes what the actual murderer was trying to do.
Yes.
Which is quite interesting, because obviously if, for instance, she puts on a lot of his clothes and goes and gets into somebody's peripheral vision, so that he's been seen alive at this time.
Yeah. Based
on the original murderer's plan, the only explanation would have been the nurse had killed him.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. I
think, there's so many twists and turns that I think were so delicately written, like the whole way through. Yeah, I thought it was a work of genius. And if you don't mind, I'm going to briefly go back to The Last Jedi. In that, I think you can see some of the themes he's explored in that film. Because obviously, there's Rose Tico's line about it's not about hating each other, it's about loving each other, kind of thing. And I think that kind of translates through to Knives Out in that ultimately it's about how kindness can prevail, and you can sometimes just win by not playing the game. You can win by being kind, and I think that's a very generous and topical theme for a movie in 2019. I think it's probably one of the sort of best ways I've seen that theme portrayed as well, and therefore, yeah, I'm putting it quite high in my list of films I've seen this year, because I think it's just a very like generous, like diverse, like kindly written and well themed film.
Because the murderer's plot to frame the nurse hinges on her being as bad as him. When it comes down to a critical moment, she acts with kindness, not with selfishness.
Well, multiple times throughout the film as well, it's her kindness which actually beats playing the game. I think it's just, yeah, it's such there's so many cynical films, and this is like one that is genuinely optimistic.
Hey, you're getting in the name there. That's good.
and yeah, therefore I do think that warrants a lot of I think that warrants a really good score for this film, because it tells the right message for once. So.
And it's very, very tightly written. Like, there's a throwaway line near the beginning about stage props.
Oh yeah, what a genius! Yeah, it took me a couple of seconds to realise what had happened there, and I was like, oh my god, it's the prop knife. Of course, it's amazing.
Yeah. And it's just a throwaway line at the beginning, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yet it comes back. It's just... Yeah, and kind of Marta, who's the character's name, if you've got the list, who plays the female lead?
Ana de Armas.
She does a very good job.
Yeah, I think I've seen her in some stuff before. I can't think what. Let me just bring it up quickly. Oh, she was in Blade Runner 2049. Of course she was.
But like, as the film's original premise is nurse accidentally kills her employer, and the employer wants to help her get away with it, and she's very like with the footsteps through the mud. Yeah, there's some very funny bits in it as well.
Yeah, I really like, especially. Do you think Daniel Craig's character, detective, what was it? Blanche
Benoit.
Or something? Benoit, right? Yeah. Do you think he did know she was the killer from the beginning?
I think possibly he suspected her.
I like to think he didn't, and I like to think the events kind of just unfolded randomly, and
yeah,
I think that it's written smartly enough as well, in that each character you can tell their flaws and you can tell their furboils, but ultimately they're written so well that they could go either way at any point, but it's all very believable. I can imagine there's a bit of his ego coming in, and that's why he says he knew from the very beginning. But I don't know. It's just it's a film I'm going to dwell on for a while, because I think the characters are so like 3D that
can't forget it features the best car chase.
Oh yeah. In that little Hyundai that does 60 miles an hour, and he's just pulled up alongside, just like, answer the phone.
And then she just, and he's like, that was the stupidest car chase in history.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, very, very good. And yeah, there's just some absolute incredible lines of dialogue and stuff. Like, Chris Evans is having the time of his life filming that. Some of the quips he comes out with are fantastic. Yeah, no, genuinely a top quality film.
Yes, go see it. I mean, hopefully you've already seen it if you're listening to this, because we just spoiled quite a bit of it. But
yeah, I really hope.
Good film.
I really hope you go and watch it and get all the surprises for yourself.
Hello, Phil here, co-host of the Cynical Optimist podcast and the editor of this video. I hope you enjoyed this review of Knives Out. On this channel we have reviews of Le Mans 66, we did a Terminator retrospective. Next up we've got a look back at the Daniel Craig Bond films. There's a lot of talk about film, TV and games, but if you want to listen to it at the source, follow the Cynical Optimist podcast, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud or Spotify. Until next time, thanks for watching. See you then.